What is up, Jabber Nation? We are back for our first episode in, feels like forever.
It's been a while, on this channel at least.
We've been working at our new channel, Jabber the Hut, where we talk about a whole bunch of nerd stuff. Haven't checked that channel out yet, highly recommend it, but just gonna go in it. So NBA Finals started, game one was,
It's ups and downs.
yeah, the
Had a very embarrassing gaffe. Some bad calls.
Yeah, still kind of heated about the ending. Yeah, we just dive in it.
Okay, so the game was a lot closer than I was expecting it to be. Because going into the series, I didn't think the Cavs stood any sort of shot whatsoever. But, and here's the thing, the Cavs overall played fairly well. And they got a Warriors team where Durant was off.
Mm-hmm.
He was not playing well at all. And there was even spots where Steph Curry wasn't playing that well.
Yep.
So you have a Cavs team that's playing probably the best they've played all postseason against a Warriors team that was struggling, and the Warriors still won.
Yep.
So I think that was one of the Cavs' best chances.
The steal one.
Yeah, to steal one.
Yep.
Because I was calling, Warriors in 5.
I was calling the sweep for the Warriors.
Well, after that game, I think the Cavs will still sneak one out at home.
You think so?
I think so. I think they'll sneak one out at home. But just the way that game went, the Cavs couldn't beat them when the Warriors were not at their best, and they were at their very best. And there's a few different factors that go into it. One, at the end of the half, the very last play, they get the ball to Steph Curry. J.R. Smith decides to try to go for broke, jumps and completely misses, going for the ball and passes Steph Curry. So that was Steph Curry to set up.
Clean look.
And it's a very long shot, but for Steph Curry it's nothing. So it allows him to take a very long shot, shoots it, drains it, game's tied, Warriors going with some momentum.
Yep.
And there was times really during the first half of the Cavs, had a run, and they could have built it, but then they would always let the Warriors right back in it. So third quarter starts, my thought is, all right, the Warriors just going to run with this like they always do. They give the team a half, and then usually in the third quarter, that's when they start to pull away.
Yep.
Well, they had their moments where it looks like they were, but then the Cavs would come back and, tie and take the lead and whatnot. And that was basically how it was the entire second half.
Yep.
So then you get to the fourth quarter, and really within the last 2 minutes, that's when things start getting interesting. So, with very little time left, the Cavs are up. Kevin Durant has the ball. Drives. LeBron James steps in. Takes the contact. Originally called a charging foul.
Yep.
The refs decided to go take a second look because you can, when it's under 2 minutes, when you think that there's possibly his feet might not have been in the restricted area. Well, apparently they wanted to go get confirmation of this, but when it comes under 2 minutes, they have the right to then change the foul call. In which case, after they reviewed it, they decided then to change it to a blocking call instead of a charge. That created a lot of heat.
Never seen that done ever.
Yeah, that's the first time the foul has ever been changed during a game, and of course they picked the weirdest time to do it in the finals. But, listening to a lot of NBA analysts, I heard a lot of mixed things like, no, they should have been left to charge, or no, they eventually did get it right with a blocking call. So I'm not even going to debate whether the call was a charge or a block. It's just the fact that they decided now would be the first time they'd ever change a call like that, and it's in the first game of the NBA Finals.
Yep. That magnitude, it was a very crucial moment in the game where they reversed that call.
That was. Because if they're using the idea of, all right, it was close to his feet being in the restricted area, we want to go review that, it really wasn't close.
No.
His feet weren't, you could clearly not in the restricted area.
He had 2 inches. He had quite a few space between his feet in that inner circle.
Yeah, and really, that play was the most Kevin Durant affected the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Kevin Durant was terrible.
He missed a free throw even. He never misses free throws.
He was way off. I mean, and even on the defensive side, they had Steph Curry guarding LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are they doing?
I was saying that.
Why are you going to have Steph Curry, I mean, who's not that good on defense, let's be honest. And compared to LeBron, he's tiny.
Yeah, and that was the thing. That was one of the other things, too, in the game. They kept screening, and Golden State would keep switching, and it's like LeBron would stay at the key until they got the right switch, which was Curry most of the time.
Yeah.
Or whoever, because LeBron was playing lights out.
Yeah, but I mean, that's supposed to be Kevin Durant's.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Durant's supposed to be guarding, but I don't know what it is, but to me, the Warriors winning that game saved Kevin Durant a lot of scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they had lost that game when he apparently was too afraid to guard LeBron or what, and then he could not make a shot to save his life, and then at the oddest play, which we'll get into here in just a second, with that play where J.R. Smith gets the offensive rebound on the free throw, Kevin Durant doesn't even box out. Because he should have been, I mean, very rarely do you see an offensive player grab the rebound, but no, Kevin Durant tried to get lazy. Mm-hmm. And so with the Warriors sneaking that game out, that saved Kevin Durant a lot of scrutiny, because he was terrible. Just awful. And you're supposed to be gunning for, like, considered the best player in the NBA, but no. After that game, nope. You took yourself out of the discussion. To me, in a way, it elevated Steph Curry, because he was one like, okay, I guess I'll guard LeBron.
Yeah,
he
was stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Steph Curry credit there. Cause, I mean, when the person that's supposed to be guarding LeBron apparently is, I don't want to say necessarily afraid.
He wasn't seizing the moment.
No, and Steph's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get destroyed here, but someone has to guard him, so let me do it. So, he stepped in, and, I mean, obviously, LeBron scored a ton of points, which is expected, and, like I said, I mean, it's Steph Curry, he's tiny. Mm-hmm. He has no business guarding LeBron. Mm-hmm. Should be Kevin Durant. I get, maybe worst case scenario, Draymond Green or something, someone bigger, but now this little guy's guarding him, who's not known for his defense.
I mean, to the defense, too, if you look at that game one, the way LeBron was playing, and I don't think I've seen him put together a better game. I mean, whoever they had on him, it didn't matter when a player's in that type of a zone. But I still do think that KD still should have, taken the challenge to at least try to slow him down instead of just.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a Warriors fan, who do you want guarding LeBron more, Durant or Curry?
Right, Kevin Durant's like 6'11", 6'9", Curry's like 6'3", one something.
Maybe, maybe Durant, if he's playing like he's supposed to, maybe he, even cuts 8 points off of what LeBron would have scored. Mm-hmm. That's still 8 points then that, would have made it a little bit easier of a win. But, so, I mean, like I said, Durant just looked terrible.
Yeah, he had 26 points, but I think most of that was the free throw line.
He was 1 of 7 from 3.
Yep.
And 8 of 22
from the field.
Yeah. That is a terrible percentage.
Yeah. So I mean, most of those points he got was at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked. It was that's why it irritates me so much, because in this game, all the things that Cleveland needed to have for them to win.
It was set up for them to do that.
Right, did win. I mean, they had Kevin Love was 21 and 13. J.R. Smith was 10 points. Larry Nance had 9. George Hill had 7. But the whole group as a cast, they got enough as a group, aside from what LeBron did. And another thing, too, to beat this Golden State team, you have to do 2 things. You have to... 3 things. You have to defend them somewhat well. You have to play your tempo. And we said it before with this team, they're good offensive, but they're not that good inside.
Right.
And Cleveland out-rebounded them like 64-42 in the whole game. So, I mean, just they passed up this golden opportunity to beat Golden State in this one game. If they would have, I'm not saying they still can, but if they would have went back to Cleveland and tied, that'd be a huge momentum going back.
If they stole one game in Oakland, that's a huge victory for them. I mean, really for them, winning any game at this point is going to be an amazing feat. But, yeah, so you had this game set up so well for them to win, and they blow it, and person kind of being used as a scapegoat in a sense is J.R. Smith.
What the hell was he doing?
Who had his hand in a lot of plays. First quarter, he was one that slipped and rolled up on Klay Thompson. Thankfully, it wasn't anything serious. Klay Thompson was one of the
it wasn't intentional or nothing.
No,
he was going for the ball.
Yeah, he clearly slipped.
Yeah.
Then talked about the end of the first half. He completely missed Steph Curry, ran right past him, so let him set up a shot and drain to tie the game going into the half. And then the most peculiar of the plays, end of regulation. You have 4.6 seconds left. Is it named Brown? Is it Brown?
George Hill?
George Hill. That's
George Hill, yeah.
Yeah, George Hill on the free throw line. Going into it before he started, I said I knew he was going to miss one. He's an 80% free throw shooter, but this is a bigger situation he's never been in. So I was like, he is going to miss one.
Yep.
So he, drains the first one, and then the second one missed. Like I said, I figured that, and I was, telling one of my coworkers that, and he's like, "You really think you thought he was going to miss, one?" I was like, "Yeah, he's 80% free throw shooter." He's like, "Yes, but think about, the 80% in regular season. This is
what's their playoff percentage?
This is the finals.
Yeah,
in enemy territory with a game on the line.
Yep.
That is a whole different kind of pressure.
Yep.
You can be a 90% free throw shooter in the regular season, but when you're in that situation, completely different. I mean, that free throw percentage means nothing really. So, misses it, and as we talked about, Kevin Durant, who is right in front of J.R. Smith, doesn't box out, just gets lazy, so J.R. Smith goes, grabs it. So at this point, thinking, oh my God, the Cavs got it. They have a chance to win. And then J.R. Smith decides to run around, go to half court, and then does a last second pass. And with like half second left, now he passes, just kind of tosses something up because he needed to get something off. And LeBron James is standing there. What were you doing? And when they show the cameras, you can kind of read the lips of J.R. Smith saying, "I thought we were up," or "I thought we had the lead." And in that instance, that is completely inexcusable for you to not know the situation.
You're a veteran, too. It's not like you're a rookie.
Right. So, if you are in any sort of way confused, going into that, you ask one of your teammates. You can look up at the Jumbotron to see...
Everything's there.
Yeah,
it's right
everything there. So, you have no excuse. You need to be 100% in that moment. Clearly he wasn't. And then in the post-game, he's saying how he thought LeBron was going to call a timeout, or he was waiting for LeBron to call a timeout. And he knew where he knew the situation of the game. He was waiting for it. I was like, you did not know the situation.
No, you no.
And if you think a timeout needs to be called, why don't you call a timeout? You have the ball.
All the referees were looking at him with the ball. They weren't looking at LeBron or Ty Lue. They were looking at J.R. Smith.
Yeah, you have the ball. Don't sit there and tell oh no, I knew where we were. It's like, no, you didn't. And then even Tyronn Lue in post-game comments said J.R. Smith told him that thought they were up one. So you did not know where you were at, and you decide to post-game, oh no, I knew. No, you didn't. Don't lie. Just own up to it. You screwed up. So that was one of the biggest bonehead plays because now at the end of that half, after that happens, so now they're going into OT. The Cavs are feeling deflated. It's like they had this golden opportunity. LeBron James is annoyed and pissed off. You can tell he's just the way he's looking at J.R. Smith. And the Warriors are thinking, "Oh my God, we snuck away." They felt fortunate to be able to get to overtime. And I knew once they got into overtime, I knew Warriors were going to cruise.
Yep.
And that is exactly what happened because they had all the momentum. They were the ones feeling relieved.
Yep.
The Cavs were feeling defeated. Yeah.
And you go to the scoring list by quarters. Cleveland outscored them 30-29. 27-26, Golden State. That's in their third quarter where they always come alive. They outscored Cleveland only 28-22, and then fourth quarter 29-23, and then overtime 17-7.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd be a tough pill for me to swallow. I don't care what type of magnitude, if I'm the greatest player on the planet or not, you know. And then I read something too before we got here that the referees said that Draymond Green he went ahead of he had a lane violation in that George Hill free throw, the second one that they missed. But I mean,
I mean, see, to me that doesn't even matter because the Cavs got the rebound.
Right. Yeah.
So who really cares if he had the lane violation? Because they got the rebound. They were in the exact position that they wanted to be in. Because really, I think it's almost more beneficial that he missed it so they can get the ball and get a chance to shoot it. Because if he makes it, you're leaving the Warriors with 4.6 seconds left.
That's an eternity for that team.
Exactly, and that's
an eternity for those shooters.
They call a timeout. They get their plan together. With them, anything on their side of the court, they can make it from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 4.6 seconds left for them, that's well long enough for them
That's an eternity.
Yeah, for them to, get one, shot in. And with, Curry,
Curry, Durant, Klay Thompson.
I mean, Durant that game, I don't know. I don't think they would go for him in that game with how bad he was. But Thompson or Curry, they're going to get to them, and they'll throw one up and, most likely make it. But, I mean, so the Cavs are in the position they needed. They had the ball. Oh, and then, J.R. Smith said, I don't think anyone thought I would, put up a shot with KD right there.
Why not?
Well, and one, KD was right in your face.
Right. He was behind him by a few feet.
Yeah, so, really, as, also after he got the rebound, he actually had a, lane to just quickly lay one back
I was
up.
yelling. I was like, oh my gosh, put it up. There's nobody in front of you or behind you.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And right after that, you had put a comment on there on Facebook, and I commented right after, it's like, that's what you get for letting J.R. Smith handle the ball in the fourth quarter. So I think it was in the Pistons series.
Yeah.
End of the game, J.R. Smith had the ball. They were needing a shot and he completely botched that situation too. So you don't want the ball. Really, the Cavs just learned like if you're in the final seconds, take J.R. Smith off the court. Don't have him on there because you don't want to risk him taking the ball and doing something stupid again, which he shows he has a big tendency to do.
The only other complaint I have with the George Hill thing, with LeBron at the top of the key, I see why he couldn't do it. I went back and watched the play when he had the ball at the top of the key with Curry, and Skip Bayless had a big issue. He was saying, why didn't LeBron just take it amongst himself? But on one side he had KD leaving his guy, and then on the other side you had Draymond. So it's not like he could have driven left or right because the double was coming.
Yeah, but now he got lucky on that pass that Klay Thompson felt.
Klay grabbed George Hill because he knew he had a step on him.
Well, and that pass was awful.
Yes.
One, it was incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily fast, really.
Yeah.
And it was low. So he got lucky that Klay Thompson fouled, because otherwise that would have just been a horrible pass that he would have been able to handle, and then it would have been game over. But, with LeBron, with how big he is, you think, go either way, around, Curry and take two steps, which, his two steps cover a good distance.
Right.
And then go up and, put up a shot. It's a possibility. I have no issues with, the superstar whatever passing.
I didn't with that instance, I didn't.
No, it's like Michael Jordan passed,
the Paxton and
too.
Steve Kerr in big moments.
So
yep.
If the person is open,
right,
you pass.
Right.
Now, Kyle Korver was actually in the corner all by himself.
I saw that, yep.
So, then it's like you pass it to the wrong person.
Yeah.
But now, I am assuming he didn't see him.
That's what I would assume.
That's my guess. But, Kyle Korver was right in the corner, wide open.
Yep.
And, when it comes to three-pointer outside of, obviously, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, he's one of the ones that you want to take that shot.
One of the best percentages in history.
Yeah, so, if anything, LeBron got fortunate with that pass, but he missed. There was a golden opportunity right there. But still, even with all of that, they were in the perfect position to
steal at least one.
Yeah.
And now, Tomorrow's game, I don't know.
Yeah, in game 2, you guys, I mean, Kevin Durant's not going to play that bad. He is going to rebound from that game.
Yep.
But now are the Cavs going to be able to play
That's
that good again?
Yep.
Because if not, and Kevin Durant plays better, then it's just going to be an annihilation.
That's what I was going to say. I wouldn't be surprised in this next game if Cleveland does get blown out, because I don't know. There's a thing where if teams lose close games, you don't know how they'll bounce back psychologically. Now, they do have a ton of veterans on this team, but the series of things that happened in that game, especially with the J.R. Smith thing, that they were 4 seconds away, they were like a rebound away from stealing one.
And I think if they would have stole that game, if they would have won, I think that would have been a huge blow to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Warriors, they struggled greatly against Houston, and if Chris Paul was healthy, I think
won.
Houston would have won that series.
Yep.
But Golden State isn't used to playing close games.
No, they're used to blowing everybody out.
Yeah, so as you see, like in the Warriors or in the Rocket series, like they struggled when it came, down in crunch time. They needed to make shots.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, if the Cavs could have stole that game, I think that changes the complexity of the series. But now the way that ended, I think now it's the Warriors just kind of cruise with, like I said, the Cavs maybe stealing one in Cleveland.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that's my guess. I think they steal one. If the Pelicans can steal a game from the Warriors, the Cavs can steal a game from the Warriors.
Oh, man.
And Demarius Randall has to feel good because he sent out he's the Cleveland Browns player, sent out a tweet saying if anyone who retweets this, if the Cavs win the series, he'll buy a jersey. And at last check, it would cost him over $100 million in jerseys.
Man.
So, he's probably actually pretty thankful that the Cavs lost. Because, he doesn't get paid that much money. So, he'd have had to find just a clever way to back out of it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he would. I mean, he's not going to shell out $100 million to buy jerseys.
Oh, man. I absolutely love LeBron and the Cavs, but I'm a realist. I mean, I think they will. I don't see them winning the next game in Golden State. If I'm pleasantly surprised, that's fine. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they get blown out or if they get swept.
Like I said, last year the Cavs got beat with Kyrie.
Right.
This year their team is not as good.
Yeah.
And the Warriors are just as good.
Yeah.
So, to me, unfortunately, there's no shot. No shot.
No.
And which also begs the question, if they get swept here, then you'll have all off season to hear about.
Well, LeBron's
where's
leaving.
LeBron going?
There's supposedly stuff out there that Chris Paul's been trying to talk to LeBron to recruit him to Houston.
Here's my guess on it. Anyone from the West Conference, forget it.
You think he'll stay East?
He is not going to the West.
You think he's going to stay East then?
Why go to the West and make it harder to get to the finals when you can stay in the East and have a fairly simple path?
Well, that's my thing too, and he'll be in his 16th year?
Yes.
Next year? I mean,
He is either going. My guess is he's either going to stay with the Cavs or he's going to go to the Sixers.
That was my thing, Philly, because right now in Vegas, they're the #1 favorite team to land him right now. It's Philly.
Hey, it's LeBron with Embiid, Simmons. I mean, that team would be stacked.
Yeah, they'd have a legitimate shot at Golden State.
Yeah.
When they get out the East,
So that is my guess. He's either going to stay in Cleveland or he's going to go to Philadelphia. No other team really, to me, makes that much sense. Because, I mean, the only other team that makes sense is the Warriors, but that would never happen because the Warriors no way could afford that.
Right. As an NBA, as a fan, I would love to see LeBron go to Houston. I'd love to see him and Chris Paul play together.
See, to me, I would hate that because now the NBA is legit 2 teams.
Houston and Golden State.
Yes. Every other team is irrelevant.
That is true.
That's what bugs me with the current state of the NBA is you have, like I said, we've talked about this before, you only have a handful of teams that have any sort of shot of doing anything.
Because it would have been, and then too, if Kyrie and Hayward were playing the whole season, would we be talking about Cavs Warriors Part 4?
Probably talking about Celtics Warriors. And then if, like I said, if Chris Paul stayed healthy, it may have been
Celtics Rockets?
Celtics Rockets, yeah.
Two completely different teams.
So, yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, you have really about 4 or 5 legit teams that have legit shot at doing anything. And if you take, LeBron and put him in Houston, that limits it down to me 4 teams then.
Yep.
You have Celtics, the Sixers in the East, Rockets, Warriors in the West. And that's it. Every other team to me is irrelevant. Which also begs the question is, do you need to reseed the playoffs and just get rid of East and West?
I think you do.
Because, I mean, if they did that, then right now you'd probably be looking at a Warriors-Rockets finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that'd probably be more intriguing than the one we have. Because we all knew Warriors are going to win this.
Yep.
Now, if it was the Warriors and Rockets, it'd be more interesting.
Right, but then we'd run the Krabby thing where Chris Paul would get hurt in Game 5 of the finals. I mean,
Yeah. But, I mean, so yeah, like I said, the playoffs were, the playoffs have been interesting at least. Like I said, the Warriors, they had the challenge with the Rockets. And then the
Cavs got taken to
Cavs,
the brink by the
for
Celtics.
some reason, got taken to the brink by the Celtics. I mean, they even got taken to the brink by the Pacers.
Yep.
So, yeah, and the Cavs really struggled this postseason. And yeah, if you're going to struggle against the Pacers...
That's how you knew it wasn't the same team.
And the Celtics without Hayward
Yeah.
and Irving, you're going to get destroyed by the Warriors.
That's why I was saying it. That's why I said from the first run, I was like, I think this team will get swept by Golden State.
Yeah, but, I mean, we did call the finals at the end of last finals.
Yeah.
We picked the Warriors and the Cavs.
Gosh, we should have put money down.
Look at that. We were right. Well, we wouldn't have made that much money because those were the 2 favorites to get there. So, I mean, yeah, big deal. But, yeah.
The number of, just to put the odds in perspective of how much the Cavs are against the Warriors, if you bet Golden State, you have to put $1,000 down just to bet Golden State to win.
You guys put $1,000 down to earn like $100 or something like that?
Yeah, it's just some unearthly, godly amount.
Yes.
That's how big of odds the Cavs are.
And then now, really quickly, we don't touch on it very often, but the NHL.
Go Knights.
If you would have put money
Go Knights.
on the Knights at the beginning of the season, you would be looking at a big payday.
Go Knights. I like Bellagio.
And so, yeah,
I like Steak and Shake, too.
Like, to me, this is, this kind of thing is saying because you have 2 teams there that have never won before. So one team is going to, win their first, championship. You have either the Capitals, that have been a more established team. You have Alex Ovechkin on there, who's kind of the star that had never been able to get past the Penguins. That's all. That's been like his kryptonite. He finally got past them. Can he finish it? And then you have the Las Vegas Knights for their first year.
First year expansion team.
Yeah, never has an expansion team done this before.
Yep.
Now, I have talked with a few hockey fans that don't like the Vegas Knights because they think their path is too easy about how they were able to create the team. Which I've kind of read how the Minnesota Wild were brought into the expansion, like how they were drafted into the Las Vegas Knights. There was only a 1-player difference in the amount of players each team was allowed to protect.
Right.
It's like where the Wild, and I think they were allowed to protect 9 players. Each team was allowed to protect 9 players, and the Minnesota Wild could select from any of those. This year was like 8.
Yep.
So it wasn't a huge difference. And, I mean, the team, it's like they have these, like, all-star, huge-name players. They have Marc-Andre Fleury, who's a great goalie. He was a goalie for
the Penguins.
But the Penguins apparently did not feel the need to protect him.
Yeah,
So,
I actually work with a lady. She's a Wild fan, but her son is a Penguins fan, and she basically said that the Penguins felt better with the goalkeeper they have now, so that's why they were okay with not holding on to Fleury.
Yeah, so, I mean, if the Penguins didn't feel like protecting him, you can't blame the Knights for taking him.
He was
fair
there.
Game. Yeah, he was there. All right, perfect. And yeah, I know one of my old friends here is a Penguins fan, and I mean, since his team's not now, he's rooting for the Knights because he wants to see Fleury get one, and because Penguins don't like the Capitals,
Crosby,
so they don't want to win.
Ovechkin rival.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as we film this right now, it's tied 1-1. They are playing a game, and really, actually, I think it's already started.
Yep.
So we'll see. What happens. I mean, it's exciting to see, kind of fun to see the Knights, win like in their very first season. That's never happened before with anything. Actually, right now it's end of the first, tied 0-0.
I mean, is it bad though? Because I don't want to be a Knights fan right now, because then I'd be a bandwagon.
You can be a bandwagon because this is the first year. This is the only time you could be a fan.
So right now I could say I'm a Knight because I like Vegas. I mean, we've been there multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Lucinda at the Bellagio fountains from my window. Might I add?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm the biggest Golden Knights fan." I mean, it's fun. No. It's fun to root for them.
Yeah.
And that's like me. I don't have a horse in the race in hockey. There's no team that I really root for.
Mm-mm.
So if me rooting for the Vegas Knights now leads to me just constantly rooting for them, well, I had to start somewhere. I had to root for somebody. And, I have to get someone to draw me in and make me want to root for them. I'm not just like, I'm going to root for that team and then root for them. No, I have to be drawn in. I have to have a reason to cheer for them. And maybe this is that reason I start, cheering for the Vegas Knights. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see.
If it is, hockey could be a regular topic on Sports Jabber.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, I mean, it's
exciting.
Yeah, they have people talking about hockey.
Yeah.
People are talking about it. This is exciting. If anything, NHL fans should be happy because, hey, people are talking about hockey.
Never happens much.
Exactly.
Rarely happens.
Yeah. But, as always, let's hear what you guys think. Think the Cavs stand a chance? What are your thoughts on the Vegas Knights? Comment below, ask any questions or whatever. Subscribe, like us on Facebook. Check out our other page, Jabber the Hut. Putting new stuff on there. We have a Deadpool review coming out soon.
I fell asleep for 2 seconds.
Shameful. So
2 seconds.
2 seconds too long.
2 seconds.
Everyone have a good night.